Hi, T. Carlson here, and back with more heavy metal on vinyl. We just had another record store day drop, so one of the releases that I made damn sure to get my hands on was this. This is the Michael Schenker Group, live at the Manchester Apollo, 1980. Michael Schenker, one of my favorite guitar players of all time. This tour was in support of their first album, which came out in 1980, although it actually has the lineup that would record their second album in 1981, as the first album was made somewhat with session players. Band lineup on this release includes Michael Schenker, Gary Barden, Cozy Powell, Paul Raymond, and Chris Glenn, the definitive version of the classic Michael Schenker Group. Got a great shot on the cover there. I'll do an unboxing for this and I'll share my opinions on the release. Got Schenker doing his thing on the cover there, and of course vocalist Gary Barden, one hell of a vocalist, one of my personal favorites. And there you got your spine text. On the back here we've got the classic MSG logo and some photos of the band. Tracklist. This is a 2 LP set. List of the band members there, as well as the name of the band, title of the album. So for the track list on this release, we have the following. Side 1, Armed and Ready, Cry for the Nations, Victim of Illusion. Side 2, Natural Thing, Feels Like a Good Thing, Into the Arena, Looking Out from Nowhere. Side 3, Rock Bottom, Tales of Mystery, Lost Horizons. Side 4, Band Introductions, Shoot Shoot, Doctor Doctor, Lights Out. Pretty nice set list here. It's tracks from Schenker's UFO days, but then also tracks from the first Michael Schenker Group album that they were supporting at the time. So this must have been before they wrote any of the songs that would end up on their second album, which was just called MSG. That album probably being my personal favorite of the lot. Now, unfortunately, right here we start to get to the problems with this release. Double vinyl set, but not a gatefold. They just have 2 records and sleeves crammed into a slightly wider paper case, and it's just like, if you're going to do a release like this, go all out. Do the gatefold, especially if it's a record store day exclusive. Surely there's got to be at least one panoramic, stage-spanning photo of the Michael Schenker Group from this era they could have used. And this brings me to my next complaint. I actually went ahead and put the record store day hype sticker on here, but the records themselves are just in these plain white sleeves. No liner notes of any kind, no additional pictures. It's about as plain gets. The records themselves are actually red, so I guess that's something, but it just feels like a very rushed release, and that's hugely disappointing given how much I was looking forward to this. This was the main record store day release I wanted to get my hands on, in fact. The concert itself is great. I mean, this is MSG's classic lineup, just first getting together, doing what they do on stage. Gary Barden, always a very underrated vocalist. Schenker's guitar playing doesn't need any further praise because we all know what the Mad Axeman is capable of. And of course, the late great Cozy Powell on drums, who'd also play with the likes of Emerson, Lake and Powell, and Rainbow and Whitesnake. One of my favorite drummers of all time. Sadly, he lost his life in a car accident at the age of 50 back in 1998. And you've even got Paul Raymond on additional guitars and keyboards, that of course being the keyboard player back when Michael Schenker was in UFO for the latter few years, and Chris Glenn on bass, formerly of the sensational Alex Harvey band. Unfortunately, as much as I like this concert, I cannot recommend this release. And not just because there's no gatefold, liner notes, pictures, or anything. The record skips. It's a brand new record, new release of a classic concert, pristine, gorgeous red vinyl, and it skips. There is no excuse for this with a new record. Anything that skips gets an automatic failing grade from me, and unfortunately this is no exception to the rule. I'm happy to announce that this concert is also available digitally, so in this case, I'm going to have to say go ahead and just get the digital version, because that way you'll at least have this concert. It's a great concert worth owning for anyone who's a fan of Michael Schenker, but the vinyl skipping, no gatefold, no liner notes. This thing just reeks of a rushed production for Record Store Day, and the end result is hugely disappointing, which is a shame given how great the concert on here is. So long story short, I do not recommend this release because it skips and it's just a bare bones rushed release on top of that. Just get the digital version, save yourself some money. You don't want to have to take this back to the store and exchange it if you get it, obviously. Are you a fan of Michael Schenker, and did you spring for this release on Record Store Day? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel for additional content. I'm always posting new content, and be sure to give this video a like if you found it helpful or interesting. I'm Taylor T. Carlson, and I will see you next time.